This is Tharashk on Reaper 1 Skull. So this quest has a few challenging aspects to it. It's mostly easy up until the end. The end fight, the two challenges are there's a wave of uh, a big wave at kind of towards the end of enemies.
This looks like the
So
underground
that's a
highway
challenge
to
because there could
Tharashk
be
Arena.
Reapers, champions,
You
and a lot
search
of
for Dirge's
just a lot to
contact.
deal with at
Keep your
once.
guard up.
That's always a challenge. And the second thing that's a challenge is that in the final boss fight, there's some CC, so that's challenging. Hopefully if we were CC'd for a lengthy amount of time, the hireling will be able to keep us healed. But those are the two challenges there. Not something that would keep me away from Reaper, but something that I think gives us a reasonable chance. We could fail and have to restart the quest. Hopefully that won't happen, but if it does, it's no big deal. We'll just restart and try again. I mean, I think we'll get through it. It's just that those two things are pretty risky for us.
The gates of Tharashk Arena loom ahead, guarded by a well-groomed bugbear and a host of trollish
So
enforcers.
he's a champion. We'll have to fight him after the quest is over. So even if that went bad, that's not a big deal because the quest is over at that point.
A few magical and curse against beauty.
Plague Reaper. Alright, so I'm just going to renew my buffs. Go in guns a-blazing. Bad time for leg spike there, but we got it. So, a little bit of lag here. But usually when you do lag, your attacks don't show up, but then when it kind of catches up, you actually did do damage. And that was the case there. It looked like I wasn't doing anything to Plague Reaper, but then once the system caught up, and it was just like fraction of a second, it was fine. Alright, couple troll champions and a Carnage Reaper. This is going to be a tough one, so I'm going to back up here and try to get this troll by himself when he comes back. Looks like he patrols. So I'm going to try to get this, try to thin the herd a little bit before I activate that Carnage Reaper. That's technically not a one-shot, but basically the scenario there is that the champion's going to hit for a lot of damage, and I'm going to see if I can get him by himself. There he is. The champion hits for a lot of damage, and these up here comes a Reaper. Let's see if we can get this guy real quick. Trip, that's lucky. Okay, now. So that went pretty well. That was like a lot of champions there. Technically 4 champions. 4 champions and a Carnage Reaper. But because they came slightly, you know, the troll got there a little bit faster, that made that a little bit easier. And that's one of the advantages of just drawing them back, is they don't run at the same speed. So we're going to be fighting some, you know, that's why the big wave scares me, is that some of these melee hit pretty hard. And so that big wave at the end could be a problem. So there are some things we could do to make that a little bit easier. We'll try some of those techniques, but
You notice words etched above this gate. Ready Room 1.
we're going to try in here, so I'm going to
Inside,
definitely use all stops here because it's big melees and a champion.
You notice words etched above this gate. You notice words etched above this gate. Ready Room 1.
Ooh.
Inside, scarred and muscular troll fighters. Shrieks.
Time to fight. Gladiators in Ready Room 1. Get moving.
Yeah, the hireling actually has quite a bit of hit spell points. I'm surprised that he hasn't gone through much. But that's one of the advantages of, you know, the offense. You know, we have our DPS really improved quite a bit this level, and so as they say, the best defense is a good offense, and that's definitely true in DDO at times. And so by taking enemies down quicker, we're taking fewer hits from those enemies, you know, fewer criticals, fewer everything. All right, so this.
Grogan, the promoter, shouts, "We have a last-minute team for today's bloodbath, all the way from Stormreach." Angry howls erupt from the crowd.
Grab this collectible before the fight starts.
No reason to worry. Rushers, kobolds, and the Mudwallow ogres are hungry for blood.
So we're going to go down here
Forces against the Stormreach team.
for Reaper. And our hireling may not cooperate, but so now we're just going to run in here and we're going to fight these guys in here. Oop. Oop. Didn't get in fast enough, but there's one guy we got. Oop. There we go. Let's get in here and fight him in here. And now we'll fight the ogres that hit hard. So those kobolds have some CC aspects to them. And these are the hardest hitting enemies in this quest, the ogres, in terms of just raw damage. I mean, that's, you know, for a non-champion, that's a lot of damage.
What a terrible upset. The mystery team is tougher than...
And next method is Minotaurs and Methods. We're going to go down here and do the Methods first. This is sort of just to basically not have to fight this big wave all at once.
Fury and the Maelstrom princes have slain hundreds of their kind.
This should be the shortest fight we've ever seen. Let the slaughter begin.
But at least we're just fighting the methods now and not everything else. These guys aren't active yet. And then we'll get this guy. And now the Minotaurs, they have their knockdowns, so it's good to fight them after. They hit pretty hard, not as bad as the ogres, but they, their thing is the knockdown.
Who could imagine such a disaster?
Alright, so these are half waves. And so now we're going to do the same thing. We're going to go to the kobolds, and we're going to just try to fight them first.
It's time for an all-out showdown. Fresh fighters from all 4 teams have armed themselves for battle. Their horns
and there's some Minotaur casters, so we want to make sure we get this death block renewed.
Are entering the arena. Battle is on.
So there's a crown kobold. Alright, well, let's get this guy first. Alright, let's see if we can draw some back. Whatever we can do here to type a little bit at a time is good on Reaper. Whoop, there's a bad one. We had a couple champions, and the Ogre champion was the most dangerous. But you can see if we just went and fought in a big mob there, probably dead.
The Stormreach team has spilled a sea of blood today, but it is
Alright, that's so we survived the first hard part of this, which was that combined wave, and we did it by just sort of separating the fight a little bit, breaking it into smaller chunks.
To avenge the fallen heroes of Tharashk Arena.
And this part is I'm gonna put my hireling right here and have him stand his ground, and actually maybe a little bit closer. And I'm gonna try to put all the stops, and I'm going to try to be here where if I'm CC, the hireling can hit me and the hireling's not under attack. Alright, well, I think that's the guy that does the CC. Nope, there he is. So let's get the hireling to heal me. That's why we put the hireling back. That's sort of our way to deal with this hard part here. Is just have the hireling. Whoop. Let's see if can he. There we go. So he's healing me through it because he's not in the fight.
All right. Scattered and broken at your feet.
Let's go back here a little.
Now's your chance to seize the mighty axe.
Oh, let's finish the quest just in case. Just in case we wipe here. I don't think we will, but there's got a lot of melees. Once you grab that axe, the quest is over. Now, I could have, like we're a little better with swords than axes, but I could have grabbed that axe. It's, we can't keep it, but it's a pretty nice weapon. Keen, Vorpal, Adamantine, Flaming Burst. I mean, it's a pretty good weapon, but it drops upon leaving this adventure, so we won't be able to keep it permanently. So, Reaper XP 264, not too bad. We get about 30% more on Reaper 2, 60% more on Reaper 3. But, there's one champion that put me down to about 60 or 70 hit points. So it was, that might have been on Reaper 2 or Reaper 3 a wipe. So I'm pretty okay right now with keeping it at Reaper 1. You'll see we're going to get way more Reaper experience at level cap in a, shorter amount of time. So we're not going to worry about 60 or 70 Reaper points here or there, experience points. All right, nothing too interesting. I mean, this poison warded is probably the best item, fire absorption as well. So that's Tharashk Arena on a Reaper 1 skull.